educators today, including all my colleagues. Let me introduce Headword, and then I'll introduce today's speaker, the resource person, Ms. Kalpana Chauhan. So Headword Publishing Company is an ELT specialist and leading curriculum publisher. It's a part of ABP Education, the education wing of ABP Group. ABP Education today is trusted by more than 20,000 schools and reaches millions of students across India. Headword delivers curriculum-aligned textbooks, teacher resource books, and digital learning solutions that empower teachers and inspire learners. With research-driven pedagogy, structured lesson plan, and professional development, Headword ensures measurable improvement in learning outcome. Its programs align with NEP 2020, the National Curriculum Framework for Foundational Stage 2022 and NCF 2023, helping schools achieve national curriculum goals with confidence. Let me introduce now today's resource person in the form of a poem. Kalpana Chauhan, a global scholar, with her so bright, Kalpana shines with a spirit that ignites. From Dublin Hall to Hyderabad shore, she gathered knowledge and skills to explore. With a decade of experience, she made her mark in training, teaching, and leaving a spark. Her expertise expands far and wide, from academics to skills. She guides with pride. International honors, she proudly won the Education Pride Award, a testament to her form. 200 plus workshops and 50 plus sessions strong. She empowers minds and helps them belong. With a heart that passionate and a soul so true, Kalpana inspires and brings out the best in you. Her journeys are testament to her unwavering zeal, a true educator with a heart that feels. Thank you, Kalpana, for making this day. And we are sure to all the educators, today's topic, as you know, is social and emotional wellness for educators. So over to Kalpana. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much, Sandeep ji, for introducing Headword and myself. I'm really glad to be part of today's session. And I welcome all the educators from different corners of India. So if I talk about the topic of today, which is about socio and emotional wellness, I'm sure that most of us look after others for their wellness. When it comes to us, we take a back step. Is it the case? Can you put up yes or no on the chat window? Is it the case that you take yourself at the back step and you make others happy? Okay. I could see several emojis, several thumbs ups. Yes, most of us do that many often. And that's what makes us lead apart. Okay, so since today's topic is about socio-emotional wellness and all of us are educators here, and the discussion would be around nurturing happy teachers and classrooms. So if I ask you another question, what was the last, or rather, when was the last time you were happy in your actual classroom scenario? This could be
इतना कौन कैसे हो गया 31
I request everyone to please keep yourself on mute. And if you want to talk something, contribute something, you may raise your hand and you'll be allowed to talk. All right, so thank you so much. So my question to you before I begin is, when was the last time you were happy in your classroom? Any small incident, if anyone could gauge.
I think Kajal ma'am has raised her hand. You can directly answer also, or maybe in the chat box, whichever is convenient for you.
Right. Kajal ma'am, can you please unmute yourself? I think by chance she raised her hand.
Yes.
Okay, that's okay. So, why I asked you this question is to make you remind to your classroom scenarios. I'll give you quick glimpses. For example, if you are a pre-primary teacher, a small smile on a child's face actually may make your day better. I mean, these saplings in the early years actually give us a lot of reasons to be happy. In fact, in the other example, if you're one of your student who is falling behind than others and somehow start coming back to track, that also can bring you some happiness. So there are moments of joy, moments of ecstasy in our classrooms, but at times because of our regular coursework, we also feel overburdened. There are so many issues, but since the show must go on, and how we can all improvise on ourselves in the same scenario, which is quite tiring, which is a kind of a thankless world at times. That is what we all feel. So in today's discussion, today's session, we'll see why do we matter as an academician, as teachers. So why it actually matters to discuss on these lines, which wasn't being discussed in the previous years or previous decade, because after COVID, things have got quite changed. And I'm sure that all of us would agree that the emotional climate has also changed, because nowadays 24/7 all of us are working. No matter we are in regular classroom scenario, no matter we are off work at our homes, even then we keep on preparing lesson plans. We sometimes take copies to our home for correction work. What not we do. Do you all agree with me on this? Oh yes, I see some thumbs ups coming up. Yes. So all of us are actively taking part in these things, and we know that that is how our job is. So my next question to all of you is that how many of you really wanted to become teachers? So I want only those thumbs ups who are teachers by choice, not by chance. Okay, Rehan sir, Ashley ma'am, okay. Gulnaz ma'am, Kajal ma'am. Okay, lots of responses are coming up. So I would tell you one thing, basis my experience of moving different corners of India and interacting with lots of educators in different schools, majority of us, my dear friends, are teachers by chance, not by choice. This is what research says. Even I don't say so. So the research says that majority of us are teachers by chance, not by choice. And that is how the entire emotional quotient behaves differently. So for our well-being, for our effectiveness, we have to walk an extra mile to ensure that stress does not touch us at the beneath level. It should go just above us, and we are not somehow being afflicted with this. And how all of us as educators can create happy classrooms for our young learners. So let me quickly go through this video. I'll just open it for you. Just give me a moment. Just go through this video and then we'll have some discussion around it. Just a moment. Screen is getting hung. Just a moment.
Hello everyone, welcome to Sarasa Teacher for almost 3 years. And I know, trust me, I know what it means to be a teacher. As teachers, we give so much to the people around us, the students, the school management, the parents and the fellow teachers throughout the day. However, we are so caught up in the day-to-day grind of planning and preparing that we forget to focus on our own mental well-being. Let me ask you something. Do you tend to ignore your stress and anxiety levels Just because someone said that teaching is a selfless job? If your answer is a big yes, let me remind you, as a teacher, you are indispensable to our entire education system, but so is your mental health. So here are 4 reasons why you need to start taking care of your mental health. Reason number 1. Your stress gets passed to your students and impacts their learning environment. Whether it is lesson planning or curriculum completion, a teacher facing stress can end up having a detrimental impact on their students and their learning. A happy teacher exudes positivity, which positively impacts the learning environment, whereas the presence of a stressed teacher is likely to have a negative impact on the student's learning environment and lead to poor student outcomes. Moving on to reason number 2. A stressed teacher can have serious implications on mental health development of students. Research shows that students who are exposed to stressed teachers are more likely to experience symptoms of anxiety and depression and may have a harder time developing healthy coping mechanisms for managing stress. This can lead to a range of negative outcomes for students, including decreased motivation, reduced concentration and focus, and long-term consequences on their mental health development. By addressing your own stress levels, you can improve the learning environment and benefit your students' mental health. This doesn't require you to become a therapist. Rather, it requires you to cultivate the skills and knowledge around mental health, practice self-care, and seek support wherever necessary. Moving on to our reason number 3. Your stress can directly impact the effectiveness of your teaching. Living in the era of the internet, students can always use tons of digital resources to find and seek information. However, it is the responsibility of teachers to foster a positive learning environment for the students to process information. Only a mentally relaxed teacher can create a more effective learning environment for students by maintaining a positive and supportive attitude, which can help students feel more comfortable and confident in their ability to learn. Last but not the least, reason number 4. Stress can affect your personal as well as your professional life. As teachers, the demands for creating interactive lessons, learning new e-learning platforms, conducting classes, grading exams, and planning lessons can take a toll on our mental health. This can result in inappropriate anger displacement, diversion of attention, and periodic anxiety sessions. These issues trickle down to our personal lives as well as our professional lives. Enhanced mental well-being ensures that teachers not only give their best in the school, but also life at home. Well, dear teachers, we can all agree that the elephant in the room is our mental well-being. For our own sake and the sake of our students, it's important to seek professional support and regularly check on our mental health.
Okay, so if I just ask you, regarding the connection between our mental health and our well-being, specifically in the classroom scenario, how many of you would say that yes, it is directly impacted? You can say yes or no on the chat window if you feel that mental health is directly connected with classroom atmosphere or classroom learning experience. Arushi ma'am says for sure, thank you. Samarpita ma'am also says so. Okay, many thumbs ups are also coming in. Great. So most of you would agree on this, that yes, it does have a relevance. So if we talk about this program, which we call it as socio and emotional wellness program, which if we do deliberately in our regular classroom scenarios, it will not just impact our well-being, but the people around us. And majority of you are already sharing your emojis in form of thumbs ups and by putting up your chat, putting up your comments, which is actually filling my heart with positivity. Because all of us want to be pampered. We are also humans first before being a teacher. So if I talk about understanding, it is about knowing your own worth. All of us are worthy enough to be treated well. But sometimes due to pressure situations or difficulty levels in the classroom, different challenging scenarios when students are struggling hard to get good marks for their understanding levels, and some kind of nuisances also which may fall in your place when you see that students are not behaving the way they are supposed to. So in those difficult challenges, emotional regulation becomes extremely important. When to react, when not to react, it makes a difference. When you understand that there are certain concerns which need to be addressed then and there, and certain concerns which can be parked for a period of time and they will eventually fade off. I believe all of us must have gone through certain scenarios wherein we did not directly dealt with some concerns. Let's take an example of two students fighting in the classroom scenario, and both of them are somehow complaining about each other, proving themselves at the right corner, and the other one in the wrong one. So in that situation, even if you know that who has done right, who has done wrong, sometimes you can take a back step in order to regulate the emotions of them, in order to give them some space wherein they should understand that how to deal with their own conflicts. It's kind of a life skill scenario, but when, as a teacher, when you know that, no, this has gone above the level and I should intervene. So looking at the different scenarios, you have to take a proactive call as to when to respond, when not to respond. My dear friends, when we talk about empathy, none of us can ever teach empathy, because through a book, it cannot be taught. It is something which is innate if it is given by God or by our parents or by our well-wishers. So empathy is something which we can develop, and the same we can transfer to our students also. Because as educator, it becomes our responsibility not just to have empathy in us, but also to transfer the same to our young learners. We'll see in coming slides that how we can develop this skill. This can be still done with the help of role plays, wherein you can show certain areas wherein, let's say, a situation is there when a child is needing a helping hand because the child is not able to walk properly. The child is on wheelchair in the classroom scenario. And the other child, who is in his own jolly mode, somehow not willing to offer a helping hand when the need is there. So in this scenario, which is a kind of a role play, you just ask this child who is not ready to help, if you are in that position, if you need a helping hand, if you can't walk on your own and you have to be part of that activity, how will you feel? The child will take a back step and start thinking, if I am in that position, how will I feel? So there could be certain role plays or certain scenarios wherein you deliberately throw those scenarios to them, and that's how you can develop these kinds of life skills which otherwise may not be able to. Now, coming back to relationship skills and responsible decision making, again, these are very important life skills, not just for our students, but also for ourselves. As teachers, many a times the situation occurs when we have to take a tough decision making. We have to take a call when to punish the child, when not to. In fact, in times like today, we are not able to touch the child even if the child is not behaving well. I see many hearts coming up on this, because we all have gone through a phase wherein we were beaten up during our school times, and we were dealt with so heavily by our parents and by our teachers. But when it comes to the students, when we are on the different sides of the table, when we have become teachers, we see the other way around, things the other way around, wherein as per norms, you cannot touch a child, which is okay as per the current scenario. So in this time, how to deal with those notorious activities and how to get their work done, how to teach them discipline, these things become very, very crucial, because these things actually become cause of contention, I would say rather bone of contention amongst ourselves as educators, as to how to keep our head cool and healthy. Because for us also, if we are not happy inside out, we are not able to spread the same message across our young learners. So we'll see in the coming video how we may uplift ourselves. This video will be in Hindi, so I request all of you to kindly bear with me. It's just one Hindi video that I've incorporated in this presentation, just to make everyone happy, because there are many teachers from Hindi belt as well. So kindly bear with me on this.
माँ को देखो, वो हर हाल में गाना गाती हैं। मैं उन्हें बहुत प्यार करती हूँ।
अंतरा, तुमने 2 अलग-अलग तरह के रिबन बांध रखे हैं।
हाँ माँ, मुझे दोनों रंग पसंद है, इसीलिए मैंने दोनों को साथ पहना है।
ठीक है, जैसे भी तुम खुश रहो। चलो अपना लंच बॉक्स लो।
कोई मुझसे बात नहीं कर रहा। शायद मैं इनके ग्रुप में रहने के लायक नहीं हूँ। सबके पास सुंदर सुंदर टिफिन है और सब साथ में खाना खाते हैं। कोई भी अपना खाना मेरे साथ नहीं बांटता। मैं बहुत अकेला महसूस करती हूँ।
हेलो अंतरा, क्या तुम मेरे साथ बाहर चलना चाहोगी? क्या तुम ठीक हो बेटा? मैंने देखा कि तुम कुछ परेशान हो। सब ठीक तो है?
मेरा कोई दोस्त नहीं है। मैं अपने आप को बहुत अकेला महसूस करती हूँ। जब भी मैं इन सबको एक दूसरे के साथ बात करते, खेलते और गाना गाते सुनती हूँ, मुझे लगता है मैं उनके ग्रुप का हिस्सा कभी नहीं बन सकती। कोई भी मुझसे बात नहीं करता, कोई मुझसे अपनी टिफिन भी नहीं बांटता। मैं हमेशा अकेले खाती हूँ।
अंतरा, मुझे गर्व है कि तुमने अपने मनोभावों को व्यक्त किया। तुम्हारी माँ ने पौष्टिक खाना दिया है, जो कि एक सुंदर टिफिन बॉक्स से कहीं बेहतर है। मैं समझ सकती हूँ कि कई बार ये तुम्हारे लिए काफी कठिन होता है, लेकिन तुम्हारे अंदर ऐसी परिस्थितियों में भी सकारात्मक तरीके से कार्य करने की क्षमता है। तुम अकेली नहीं हो। तुम अपने चुने तरीकों से ऐसे मनोभावों से निपट सकती हो।
मेरी माँ कहती है कि जब भी कभी मैं अपनी भावनाओं को नियंत्रित न कर पाऊँ, तो इस गाने को गाऊं और इससे मुझे सुकून मिलता है।
ओह, इसलिए तुम कोने में बैठकर ये धुन गुनगुना रही थी। गुड मॉर्निंग स्टूडेंट्स, कृपया ध्यान दीजिए। गुड मॉर्निंग स्टूडेंट्स, कृपया ध्यान दीजिए। हमारा विद्यालय एक अंतर विद्यालय गायन प्रतियोगिता आयोजित करवा रहा है। अगर आप इसमें भाग लेना चाहते हैं तो यहाँ आए और कक्षा के लिए कुछ पंक्तियाँ गाएं। ठीक है, शुरू करते हैं। अच्छा प्रयास बच्चों। और कोई? अंतरा,
हाँ?
क्या तुम कक्षा को अपनी प्रतिभा दिखाना चाहोगी?
हाँ? जरा उसके बालों को तो देखो।
वो 2 अलग अलग रंगों के रिबन बांधे हुए हैं। कितनी बेवकूफ है।
मैम कितनी अच्छी है और मेरी मदद करती हैं। माँ ने मुझे प्रेरणा दी, जिसके कारण आज मैं अच्छा गा सकती हूँ। मैं अपनी प्रतिभा दिखा सकती हूँ।
मैं तो उड़ जाऊं आसमां के पार।
अंतरा ने अपने चुनौतीपूर्ण मनोभावों को नियंत्रित किया। जैसे वो अपनी कक्षा के सम्मुख खड़ी हुई थी, उसी ऊर्जा के साथ फिर से वो अंतर विद्यालय गायन प्रतियोगिता में अपनी चमक बिखेरने को तैयार है। वाह, इस लड़की की कितनी बेहतरीन आवाज है। मुझे बहुत पसंद आया इसका गाना।
ये हमारी बेटी है।
अंतर विद्यालय गायन प्रतियोगिता का प्रथम पुरस्कार दिया जाता है अंतरा को।
मनोभावों को समझना और नियंत्रित करना बहुत जरूरी है। हमारी देखने, सुनने, सूंघने, छूने और सोचने की क्षमताओं की ही तरह महसूस करने की क्षमता भी आत्म जागरूकता के लिए उतनी ही महत्वपूर्ण है। मनोभावों को व्यक्त करने की क्षमता किशोरावस्था में बहुत मायने रखती है। जिस उम्र में किशोर भावनात्मक दबाव का सामना करते हैं, हमेशा याद रखें, आप अकेले नहीं हैं और आपको अपनी भावनाएं दूसरों से साझा करनी चाहिए। आपके भीतर प्रेम और सहयोग की भावना है और आपका मानसिक स्वास्थ्य व भावनात्मक भलाई बहुत मायने रखती है।
All right. So in this video, if I just ask you, When we talked about this girl, Antara, we have seen two ladies working hand in hand with her to let her express her emotions the way she is. The first one was her mother, and the second one was her teacher. If any of you want to just talk about either about the mother of Antara or about the teacher and what contribution they have made in Antara's life, any of you are welcome to address this. Because I see many emojis, heart one, many hearts were coming up, many thumbs ups were there. So I think that this video has touched many of us as child also, because many of us have also gone through childhood traumas in our journeys when we are not able to express our true emotions. Because so far we just talk about five sensory organs, right? But nobody talks about our emotional stability and how to express our emotions. आप में से कोई बात करना चाहेगा इस बारे में? English या Hindi, whatever you are comfortable with. I see Arushi Raval ma'am is saying a lot of things. I cannot read it because my full screen is there, but I could see that she's writing something. Arushi ma'am, can you please read out your comment? Or if you can just directly unmute yourself and talk to us.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Both the ladies have done their part very well. First, her mother give her chance to be herself, and then her teacher plays a very important role. She identifies the problem or the weakness of the child and give her the chance, which is a very good thing. And being teacher, it is our responsibility to just look after these students and give them the place where they can explore themselves.
Thank you so much, Arushi ma'am, for putting up your comments further. Because as teacher, we become their mentors. Whether they give us that space or not, but by default, we are their mentors for life.
Yes,
Because
ma'am.
thank you, Arushi ma'am. Many of us in our journeys have a big experience. I'm sure यहाँ पर जितने भी teachers आए हैं, कई ऐसे teachers होंगे जो 5 years, 10 years or 20 years, in fact more than that experience carry करते हैं. So in that scenario, we come across many souls who felt touched with us in our journeys. And once they come back to us and say, ma'am, you have contributed a lot. You don't know what you did to me during that time. And I am what because of you. Whatever I am, it's because of you. And that feeling is priceless. Do you all agree with me on this? Those who have some experiences of teaching students? Okay. Many thumbs ups are coming in. Right. So that is something which is our bonus. Beyond what we do, this is something which makes us overjoyed. This is the true result of our hard efforts and everyday burnouts that we have in our regular classroom scenarios. I'm sure all of us understand that every child is unique, and basis that we have tried our best. Just give me a moment. There is some power fluctuation at my place. I'll just come back with another network. Just hold on for a while.
So in the meantime, I could see some of the hands. For example, Krishna sir is there, and
Okay, so
Rehan ma'am
meanwhile,
is
my
there.
system is ready with another network.
Yes, great.
Let's quickly delve on this challenges. The screen will be up in some time. Somehow I was connected through both devices, so I'm able to look after in this sense, but we have to just wait for a while. So I was talking about the challenges of today's time, wherein we see that there is a lot of work pressure on us. Something which we were not doing previously are now become a kind of daily routine for us, and we are dealing with it.
So which actually strikes difficulty level in our work-life balances as well. So I'm sure we all are able to deal with it, but how we can overcome the concerns that we face, that we will see in the slides to come.
Krishna sir, Rehan sir wants to speak something. Your hands are raised. You may unmute and speak up.
Keeping you awaited because of this power failure. I'll just quickly share my screen. I'm really thankful to all of you for patiently waiting for me. Is the screen visible to all of us? You can, okay, I got.
Yes, very much.
Thank you. So these days we face a lot of challenges, and let's see how we can overcome them, how we are able to, have a hunch of dealing with them in an appropriate manner.
Teachers play a huge role in shaping children's lives, academically, socially, and emotionally. But teaching is known as one of the most stressful occupations. And this high stress is causing teachers to burn out, disengage, and become dissatisfied with their jobs and cause more turnover than ever. Studies estimate that between 30 and 40% of teachers will leave the profession by their 5th year. Teacher stress and turnover hurts students, schools, and communities, resulting in problems such as low student achievement in math and language arts, and parents, and costs exceed $7.3 billion. So what causes teacher stress in the first place? Many teachers are reporting that job satisfaction is at an all-time low, and managing difficult students have dramatically increased the cognitive and emotional demands of teachers, leaving them feeling overwhelmed. Teachers cite they often lack effective, inclusive leadership, and they feel powerless because they don't have much is run. But there is hope. Some changes are being introduced that have been proven to help teachers. Mindfulness programs can help teachers manage emotions and find joy in teaching. Mentoring programs can help new teachers reduce stress and raise retention, which improves classroom instruction. Workplace wellness programs can improve teacher health, lower medical costs, and reduce absenteeism. Social and emotional learning programs for students can reduce teacher burnout and increase their satisfaction. Proven programs. It's time for school, district, state, and federal leaders to work toward healthier school environments for all children. This requires organizational change, not only to protect the well-being of teachers, but also to improve educational outcomes for students. To learn more, visit us online.
Okay, so if I may ask school leaders, could be coordinators, principals, or directors, do you all agree with me on this, that we must have some wellness clubs for teachers or some mentoring programs for their betterment? I see many thumbs up on the chat window. If I may just have one of you to address this, and what's about your feeling on this lines to have a wellness club in the school itself for a teacher who is facing stress, for a teacher, or for someone who is not able to deal with it? Yes, many of you are saying yes, certainly it should be there. And you know, the effect is the moment you utter your emotions, whether it's difficult, whether it's something which is very painful, you release your stress. Unless you release it, you're not able to overcome it. So managing emotions become very, very crucial to all of us, because eventually all of us are also humans. We were also students way back. Now we are teachers, but even then we need to be managed well. Okay, Rehan sir says 100% right. Okay. Now, all of us as educators must not neglect the signs of burnout. Many a times we feel that we are not motivated enough to go to our regular classes. For example, this is my period 6 or period 7. When I feel very low because of my personal stress or professional stress, I'm not able to deal with it. So what should I do? So there are certain signs of burnout. Sometimes we lose our patience also. Sometimes we are not mentally fit or physically fit also. So there are several red flags that we encounter in our journeys. And let's see what's the way out to deal with them.
Burnout is your reaction to prolonged stress that leads to mental fatigue, emotional apathy, and physical exhaustion. While most people think of burnout as a result of too much work, it can also get to us outside the office. The phenomenon often unfolds in 5 stages and can push healthcare professionals, teachers, new parents, people with chronic conditions, and anyone who bites off more than they can chew to the brink of breakdown. It can present itself as follows. First, the honeymoon. You feel happy, motivated, and excited about your new challenge, and as a result, take on a lot of responsibilities. Then there is the onset of stress. The initial enthusiasm gets tempered by the realities of your daily routine. You first start feeling tired and then anxious about not being able to handle everything you signed up for. Slowly, signs of stress begin to surface, and you may develop a negative tunnel vision. Your limited capacity to pay attention to other things in life can lead to feelings of loneliness. Chronic stress becomes your constant companion, and even tiny new tasks can set you off in a spiral of either anxiety or rage. Life may now simply feel unfair, and a setback can feel like a personal attack or a deep injustice. Eventually, you are just exhausted or develop psychosomatic symptoms such as migraines or body aches. In your free time, you may now just want to shut down. When you eventually burn out, apathy can take over. In defense against chronic stress, your brain just stops caring. This is why your productivity plummets and you may become negative or cynical. Chronic headaches, insomnia, complete neglect of your own needs, or the desire to just drop out can become part of your daily routine. You reach habitual burnout when this stressful state becomes your new normal and you experience constant cognitive fatigue, physical problems, or a mood that alternates between apathy and anger. Eventually, you may feel trapped in a vicious cycle of despair with no way out. A diagnosis of major depression may be the first turning point towards your path to recovery. To fully heal from burnout can take months or even years. This is why recognizing symptoms early on is important, because then we can distance ourselves from the main stressor, create enough me time to cool down, and do whatever is necessary before it's too late. The psychologist Herbert Freudenberger, who coined the term, originally described the phenomenon as unfolding in 12 stages, but over time they were simplified to just 5. He defined burnout as fatigue that comes from caring too much for too long. What about you? Have you ever experienced any of the stages described in the video? If so, how did you recognize them and what did you do to overcome burnout? Please share your thoughts and strategies in the comments below.
So if I may ask you, anyone who has faced these burnouts, I'm sure majority of us have had these issues. So any of you who want to, talk openly about how you faced the honeymoon period burnouts, or having something more than what we can chew, or things like that, or anything, whatever we have seen in this video, if you are able to relate with it, I would like to hear it from you. You may unmute yourself and just talk about the scenario and how you have dealt with it. because that's how all of us get benefited. If you do not want to talk on this openly, in fact, you can just talk, you can just say if you have felt these burnout issues by putting up your comment as yes. Or you may also say no if you haven't encountered any of such issues in your classrooms. Kindly put yes or no if you feel that you have had these burnout issues. I won't drag you to talk openly. I understand everyone would not want to comment upfrontly. Okay. There are some people saying yes on the chat windows. Shajia ma'am and some other teachers also. The comments are overlapped. I'm not able to see the previous ones. Okay, Ashley ma'am has raised her hand. Do you want to talk something on this?
Yes, hello ma'am.
Yeah.
Yeah, first I extend my gratitude to you for having such a lovely, session with us. Actually, I'm from Ladakh, ma'am. It would be 2 years back when I had been given a lot of responsibilities. That time I was coordinated, and yes, I had a lot of responsibilities, and I had been one, I had been one who really suffered a lot. It's not that I'm complaining. It would be for my own, betterment, for my own improvement. But then, it made me suffer a lot, to be honest. I'll be very honest with everyone. One time I experienced panic attack, which truly, affected my health a lot. It is in such situations, we get to introspect, we get to reflect on things which are going on in our lives. And yeah, it becomes important that, we need to slow down, we organize our thoughts, we identify our own emotions. And organizing things truly helped me to, get better and come up with my best possible abilities to cope up such situations. And I feel like I have learned quite a lot from such experiences. Yeah. Yes,
I'm really thankful to hear your comment on this, because this requires a lot of courage to talk on these lines. Many of us in this session itself have gone through traumas, have gone through difficult experiences which we are not able to, say upfrontly. But I'm really thankful that because of you, the others who have also encountered the same and have also found their own way forward would get some hints as to what they have to do. As you said that I introspected, I look forward to how I can overcome these things. So when you start getting into that acceptance mode first, that yes, I have these issues, then you fall in the first place itself to start working on those lines. Unless you recognize it yourself and accepts it in your mind, you won't be able to, walk ahead. So first of all, knowing your emotions and then how to work on them. If you require guidance from others, if you require an external support, go ahead. Or if you feel that I am a person who can be healed myself, then what I would do is to engage myself in some recreational activities which my mood picks up really well, which my heart really likes. So for that, these are some self-care strategies which you can follow basis what suits you, because everyone here is unique. So generally what works well with most of us as human beings is mindfulness, as Ashley ma'am from Ladakh was also talking about. So we have to first being very, very mindful about what we think, what we do, and how we react to these situations. So mindfulness becomes really, really important. And if a few of us or some of us are into meditation or good breathing practices, then we must acknowledge this fact that when we have mindful breathing, it's like inhaling and exhaling. So when we inhale with closed eyes by having our focus on the third eye chakra here, when we inhale something from the bottom towards up and then exhale, it's like we consume and then we release. Through this practice, if you do it at least 10 times, even if you're not a meditative person, even then you'll start feeling better. You'll start releasing that emotion which is not allowing you to feel good. And talking about the further self-care strategies is to have a good time management, have an active lesson plan in hand, so that You need not, get yourself occupied at the 11th hour. And at the same time, we should clearly set the emotional boundaries as to how somebody who is negative is not able to come up to us when we don't want the other person to come up. There are certain evidences in our life, there are certain events in our life when toxic people surround us like anything. So this could be our real scenario in the school also, could be somewhere, some scenarios at our homes also, which we are not directly, having any connection, but somehow because we are part of it, we have to go through it. So in that case also, we should be very mindful to say no. We should know, I'm using the word KNOW, we should actually know when to say NO. Because saying no becomes very, very crucial when we are putting our efforts towards self-care. I'm really glad to see many thumbs up coming up on this. So saying no becomes very important. With the help of good peer support, we are able to have proper self-care. When we have good pool of people around us, we become the better version of ourselves. At the same time, for good physical activity, this could be a walk, this could be gymming, this could be cycling, this could be dancing, whatever suits us as an individual, we should pick it up because it's something which is part of self-care. If you yourself are not organizing your time in a manner that you give good space for your own betterment, then you would always be complaining about the external side. So first, you choose to be happy because happiness is a conscious choice. Nobody in this world can give you happiness if you yourself don't want to be happy. Rehan sir has said 100% correct. And I'm sure that majority of us would say yes to it because it's us who are actually driving ourselves. The external environment does make an impact, but it's up to us how to deal with it. So for a good classroom scenario, for a positive classroom scenario, we tend to say that there has to be warm greetings and good positive language, clearly used in the beginning of the school hours itself, and at the same time, gratitude, paying gratitude towards whatever you have in life as teacher, as individual, that actually uplifts your mind. So here I'm going to play a small video, which we can use at the beginning once the students are ready to enter into the classrooms and see how it uplifts their mood for the day. All right, so moving ahead, we talked about warm greetings, gratitude, and for our students, because many of you have commented on the chat window that if a teacher is happy, the student becomes automatically happy. I was just reading through the comments on the chat window, and this actually made me realize that we are actually directly linked with students' learning outcomes, because if we are happy, we can spread the same positivity around our young ones. And if they are happy, the entire classroom becomes happy. And that is what is the motto of having happy classroom scenarios. So on this slide, as you see, there are some student activities that we can let them do. In fact, we as adults can also do this, because when we understand our emotional patterns, when we start journaling them, when we start letting them pay gratitude towards whatever they have in life, and at the same time, some role plays around empathy, that actually gives them willing to think beyond the boundaries. Because unless we know what we are privileged with, how will we be thankful about it, right? So we can have lots of journaling. For example, as you can see in this picture itself, what makes you feel fortunate? So let the child write 3 things about how the child feels that he or she is happy and fortunate. And the same practice can be done by us also. Just 3 things that you feel uh, are really important in your life and that make you a fortunate person. Or probably write about the time when you helped someone. So this is about your responsibility towards your vicinity, towards your society. Because we in this world come for others also. It's not something we are living in isolation, because human is considered a social animal. So unless we become social, how will we be able to do justice with our true presence? And as an academician, as teachers, our role becomes even more important. So let's start journaling our own emotions so that once we put up on a piece of paper, we are able to reflect on it. Because as Ashi ma'am from Ladakh just talked about, like how she juggled with her own emotions and how she dealt with it. Because unless you journal it, either on a piece of paper or in your mind, you won't be able to find the right track for yourself. And for school leaders, we can give teachers some support by giving them some counseling sessions and some one-on-one communication, certain wellness workshops wherein they are able to feel confident enough to talk about their challenge areas, and at the same time, some recognition of their true efforts. Because majority of the teachers, they'll have their own different, ways of dealing with students, but there will be some teachers who will walk an extra mile. So can you recognize their efforts? Can you place them in a manner that it actually uplifts others also? So that they should also walk on the same path. So on those lines, we require school support, because teacher is not all alone in the school. It's the entire ecosystem wherein the school leaders as well as the decision makers play a crucial role, because it's a kind of a triangle. There lies teacher, there lies student, there lies management, and in between the child is also there. The school becomes a connecting point for all of them. So school support on these lines is very, very crucial. And I'm really glad that in my recent visit to certain schools in different corners of India, I've found that some school leaders have started having wellness programs for their teachers. And I could see the chat window is flooded with lots of responses on this. And I'm really glad that all of us have started recognizing. Since we are approaching towards 5 o'clock, because the session's time was 4 to 5, we are just towards the end of the session. So let's discuss the key takeaways from this session. So the mantra, just the bottom line is that wellness is not a luxury. It's a necessity. So for our wellness, which we talk about mental wellness, which we talk about our happiness, is something which is our right. Sometimes we have to deal with a toxic scenario also. Sometimes the scenario is also normal. It's just our own, in-depth emotions which are not able to. So whatever it is, we have to come to a level that we create a happy and a joyful classroom scenario. That is what is the key takeaway. Because wellness is something which is your right. And we have to move an extra mile to ensure that we are moving towards it. So any questions, any teachers? If you feel that anything is there in your head, you may unmute yourself and start talking to me directly. Or you may put up your question on the chat window also. I could see a lot of comments. If you do not have questions, you can talk about how you have felt, because feedback is something which is very, very crucial. Any of you can unmute yourself if you want to talk directly to me, or if you want to put up your comment. I'm just waiting for the chat box.
Hello, ma'am. Arushi this side.
Yes, Arushi ma'am.
It was a great meeting as we come to know about the acceptance and the things you discussed with us. It was great meeting. And the best thing which I found was the accountability that teachers are not taken for granted. And they you gave some respect to teachers about their wellness, which is very good. I'm very happy to have this meeting. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Arushi ma'am, for spreading the word, because you just not talked about yourself. You talked on behalf of everyone here. Right? So thankful to Arushi ma'am for being vocal about it, because such sessions are definitely required. As humans, we also require some upliftment. We also require some recognition, isn't it? Anybody else who want to talk something on this? I see many hearts coming up on the chat window. No questions? Okay, lots of emojis are coming in. Sandeep ji, are you there?
Yeah, very much. Krishna sir, I think he has raised his hand. Krishna sir, you want to speak?
Krishna,
Okay.
are you there?
I think it is by mistake. No worries. So I think thanks a lot. It was really a very, very wonderful session. And dear educators, colleagues, and my fellow learners, we are honored to have shared this space with you today. Your energy, enthusiasm, and dedication to shaping young minds is truly inspiring. We are grateful for the opportunity to contribute to your growth and in turn witness your impact on countless students. Thanks, Ma'am Kalpana, for giving this enlightening presentation. Thank you for entrusting us with this platform. Thank you for your active participation and commitment towards excellence. And to the students, past, present, and future, thank you for being our greatest teachers, because you are great, no doubt about that. Thanks a lot.
Thanks a lot, everyone. Have a really nice day and very happy Holi to all of you present here. I cannot play Holi with all of you, but I share my good wishes with all of you and looking forward to meet you in your respective schools if feasible, if God allow us to cross each other's path. So with that note, I take a break from here. Sign off. Take care. Bye-bye.